A question from Kit Welch Potelle, Bangor Daily News reader. How are schools expected to improve if funds are cut even more? Schools are being forced to cut programs, and educators have to do with a lack of funding. Well, that's a really good question. I don't want to duck it entirely, but as you know, education and schools are primarily the responsibility of the state and localities. The federal government, at least in Maine, provides something like 7% of the funding for schools, but it can be an important 7%. And one of the areas that the federal government has persistently underfunded is special ed, the so-called IDEA program, which was promised to the states many years ago when it was passed as a 40% federally funded program, and we've never had the 40% funding from Washington, and it's one of the few areas down here where I think we should be increasing funding just to meet that commitment. The overall question, though, is a good one. We're in a period of very tight resources. People feel that they're taxed to the max, and yet the schools have needs and demands, and we're putting requirements on them that we haven't put in the past, and so it's a real issue. And I do think we're going to have to do in the schools everything we can to deliver the education as efficiently as possible in terms of administration and those kinds of things. But the bottom line is that kids and parents and grandparents and people who are engaged in the school have to continue to advocate for them. But fundamentally, I don't like ducking questions, but fundamentally school funding issues are state and local.